Hi there. Welcome to the Subfolio Reader Orientation. This video is intended to give you a solid foundation for working in Subfolio. It starts at the very beginning with the email you've received or will soon receive to sign up. It walks you through onboarding, setting up your profile, and reviewing submissions. It describes the basics for viewing, assigning, tagging, voting, and more. For some organizations, only certain sections apply, which you'll be told about. Let's begin with this email. You can see the banner for your organization. The name of your organization will be here, and it says that they've given you access for a Subfolio Reader account. And here it has a subdomain. Make sure to bookmark this page, because this is the page where you'll be doing all of your reading. Click Register Now to get started. The Register button brings you to this page where you can sign up. Put in your name, your email, a password, and click Register. You'll be brought into this daemon account setup page where it says, Welcome to Database Magazine's team. Of course, it will say your own organization. Let's set up your account. This first screen lets you set up two-factor authentication. You'll use an authenticator app to scan a code we provide. Looks like this. Be careful when enabling this, though. If you can't find the app you used for two-factor, you'll be locked out and will have to contact support. To continue without it, just click Next. Next, you can set the profile name if it's incorrect and add a profile image. We recommend doing this for the chat. And click Next. And you're all set. You're ready to review submissions. Click the check here. Now that we're in Subfolio, let's look at what we can see. There are two tabs here. If you're a level 1 reader, you'll have only one tab, My Assignments. Level 2 readers can see My Assignments and all of the submissions that are open in the system. At the top, there's only one tab, Submissions. This bell icon is where you'll see notifications if they appear. Click this to open the messaging window and view the channels. And you can click here in the top right corner to go to My Profile. Here you can change your name, change your profile picture, add a bio, look at your access, change your password or disable two-factor authentication, view your permissions, and look at notifications. You can turn on daily assignment digests, Friday assignment digests, and get an email for every new assignment. Let's go back to submissions by clicking the Submissions button at the top left. In the Submissions tab itself, there are search bars here. You can search by title, search by writer name, search for certain windows. Let's go into the main Submissions tab to put this all into more context. Here we have 6 submissions. All of them are marked as waiting assignment. To page, we can click right and left when they're highlighted. And we can click Assigned by Me in this main Submissions tab to view all the submissions I assigned. Let's filter submissions. Here we can filter by status. I can look for all statuses. I can look for awaiting assignment, under review, withdrawn by user, withdrawn by submitter, accepted, rejected, and closed. Let's leave it to open. We can also filter by category. Here we have art, review, poetry. Let's go for fiction. We can search for certain assignments. Right now they're all unassigned. We can search for certain assigners. We can search for certain tags like FastPass and click again to clear it. We can search for certain review workflows like the fellowship review. We can look for certain review workflow stages like stage 3. And we can sort by the submit date, by the last change, by the score, by the number of notifications, and by the last interaction we made. Okay, let's go back to my assignments and I'll assign some to us. If we reload our submissions, we can see that I'm now assigned to one. Here on the right, we can see all the people assigned to this submission. If there are a lot of them, you may have to scroll left and right. And below that, you can see all the tags. So this one is tagged as a fast pass and as a previous contributor. You can see on the left here of the messages, the total number of messages. So in total, there have been 4 messages on this submission. Next to that, in red, is the number unread. So we have not read 4 of those 4. We can see the date it was submitted next to that. Here we can see the title up top and the author down below. If you click on the author, you can view other submissions by that same author. If it's anonymous, you won't see the name here at all. This is the category, and this is the current status. Let's click into it. All right, let's look at the basic anatomy. Up top is the submission ID and the status. Down below, if it's not anonymous review, you can see the name and how long ago it was submitted. Below that, you can see the assignees and the tags. Right now it's only us and the 2 tags I described. Then below you can see the files. You can add a new file if you'd like to. There's the category, the title, and the information from the form. If you click this file, it opens directly and you can read it here. And you can click back to get back out. You can download the file by clicking this download button. If it was converted from a different format, for example, this one was uploaded as a doc but converted to a PDF to display in Subfolio, you'll see 2 rows here, one for the original and one for the PDF. This button lets you open this submission in a new tab, which helps you read it. Then you can always close out again after. Many reading teams use this voting tab. A later part of this video will go over using this voting tab, but that's for later. This correspondence tab lets you see messages from the submitter and lets you see any messages that were sent to the submitter. But as a reader 1 or reader 2, you can't send information to the submitter. Finally, there's the events tab, which lets you get a basic overview of everything that's happened in this submission. Soon, we'll go over some of the actions you can take in a submission, such as removing yourself, assigning someone else, and voting. For now, let's take a look at the rest of the interface. We can see we got a notification because we were assigned. If we click this, we'll be brought right back into the submission. Let's take a look at assigning someone. There are 2 ways to do this. One is during the conversation. So I could write, I think this piece is really interesting. At admin, I think you should take a look. This assigns admin to the piece. So we can see I'm also admin, but a different account, I was assigned to this piece. Or I could say, I think the fiction team should read this. At hashtag, or clicking the hashtag button here, brings up the list of channels. I can click the fiction channel and say, hi all, I think you should take a look at this piece. It's really interesting. And you can see the whole fiction team is now brought onto this piece to read. I can't remove any of them after I add them to make sure that we're only removing people that should really be removed from submissions. If you did something by mistake, you could tell them to remove it in the chat. Now that we've assigned other people, we are free to remove ourselves from the submission. So I could do that. And there we go, I'm no longer assigned. And if I reload my list by clicking the reload button, I'm no longer assigned, and I took care of that submission. Let's go back to our submission though. We can also edit the tags. I can remove a tag or add a tag. Let's add the simultaneous submission tag and close. And you can see it's added automatically. No need to save. Another way to assign someone is clicking this Assign button. You can turn on the advanced view or turn it off and type @ and then type a name, or click the @ button, or click the hashtag button. Either one works. Let's assign Rachel. This fellowship application just came in, and we were assigned to vote on Fellowship Review Stage 1. You can see we're the only ones assigned. Let's open this one. This fellowship review has two files, a CV, obviously it's a test file, and a piece sample, a work sample. This is a test file too. You can see the category, personal information, a short bio. Let's click into one of these files, the fake CV. We can see that we're brought into the voting tab immediately, and it says 1 through 10 scoring. Score the submission 1 through 10. On the right, we can choose one of these and click Submit to vote. And you can see that doing that automatically assigns someone to advance or reject the submission. So our work on the submission is now done, and we can step away. That's all that voting is. It's very simple. Of course, we can always change our vote by clicking the Change button and putting in a different vote. There we go. I voted 6 now. Or I could vote 10. Admin is still assigned. Later on, we can see that admin moved this to stage 2. Fellowship stage 2, review. Let's click in. So we've already read this one. We can see at the top that it was in stage 1, now it's in stage 2. If we click one of the files again, we get a different form. This is the Fellowship Stage 2 review form. It's a custom form. You can see that our job now is to score the CV and to score the writing sample. So let's do that. We can score the CV 8. Let's click out and let's look at the writing sample. This doesn't look like writing to me. Let's score it a 4. Click Submit. You can see that our score, 12 out of 20, was submitted. In events, admin once again was assigned. We can now click out. For any of these votes, you can always click the form itself too. So this is the original vote. Those are the basics of review. If you're a Reader 3 or Reader 4 or an administrator, take a look at some of the Learning Subfolio videos, such as the template video, which tells you how to accept and reject, and also how to message. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.